Welcome back to Talk Miley to Me, your favorite Miley Cyrus podcast. I am back today with a solo episode. It's just me, Molly, today. Becky is very busy with work. She also has a really difficult schedule. She works in the restaurant and events industry, and she had a lot of events. She has a lot of events going on right now. So we do have some exciting things happening. It always depends on what's announced and if something's announced, but one of our upcoming episodes is going to be we're both watching The Wall, which is what Miley has credited her new album to be inspired by, is Pink Floyd's The Wall, visual album / film. So we're going to be watching that for the first time, and then we're coming together and we're going to record about it, maybe some parallels we're already seeing, and just talk about big things she drew inspiration from. But we're going to be starting our Miles to Go book club on our Patreon. So if you want to check out our Patreon, you get an exclusive bonus little episode every single week, and it's really can change from reaction videos to tier rankings to us just yapping about things that we didn't want to talk about on the regular episode. So we will be doing a cute little book club series on our Patreon. We're going through each chapter of Miles to Go, which is Miley's autobiography that she wrote when she was 15. But today, I just kind of wanted to get on here and yap with you guys about Miley, have a chill episode. There's some things that I've been wanting to talk about that have just been kind of in the background of my mind that we haven't been able to get to on an episode. Coachella's happening right now, which got me thinking, Miley's never been to Coachella, right? I was looking up, did she go to Coachella and I just missed it? But she has not, I don't think she's ever been to Coachella. That's kind of sad because I live for seeing all the celebrities wear their cute little outfits, do their, recreational things there. It's really fun seeing them out in the wild like us. And we have not seen her there. She's definitely given Coachella looks before, but I don't recall ever seeing her attend Coachella. Maybe she's done some after parties, but I have not seen her do Coachella. So we need her to not only perform at Coachella in the future, but why doesn't she attend? Well, we know why she doesn't attend. She's probably not into all of the publicity of it, but that had me thinking about that. But did you guys watch Coachella? Because I got to catch Charlie's set, and my friend Evan and I, we watched it before we went out on the town, before we went to the clubs, and it was honestly so fun to I almost didn't want to go to the bars because I was having such a good time watching her set. We caught Troye Sivan coming out, and I literally screamed because I did attend Sweat Tour last year with Becky. Actually, we went to Sweat, and we were up in the nosebleeds, but we had the best time, and it took me back to that, and it was really special. And I really enjoyed seeing her living that life on stage. But we actually left right before Lorde came out, and so while we were at the club, I found out that Lorde also came out, and I'm like, what? I wasn't at my TV. But I sadly missed Gaga's set on Friday night because I simply could not stay awake for it. But we're going to be seeing her at Mayhem Ball. We got tickets for that later this year in Chicago. So we're going to be attending that. That's going to be really fun. Yeah, I had a great time this weekend. We went to this little underground club where they have EDM artists there. But then we were we want to listen to Lady Gaga, so let's go to the gay clubs. And so my friend Evan and I Ubered over to the gay clubs in St. Louis, and we had the best time. But enough of me yapping. That's kind of what I've been up to. On an exciting note, I am going to be visiting Becky in person the end of May for Miley's album release. So I have so many fun ideas, but we're definitely going to be recording a reaction video. We'll post that on our public YouTube. It won't be behind a paywall. We'll put that up. We'll be doing a reaction video to the whole album. We'll probably be going live at some point. We'll be doing some in-person episodes, so I'm excited to see her and get some in-person content going. That'll be really fun. But okay, what should we talk about today, guys? We have a few voicemails to listen to. First, let's talk about End of the World, because there's definitely more thoughts there, and I'm sure as this era continues, I will continue to have more thoughts on End of the World, but it's not doing the best on the charts, right? It's just not. It debuted at number 47 on the Hot AC Radio media-based rolling chart with 47 spins, 45,000 audience impressions. And weirdly enough, Flowers debuted the exact same. And so it started off kind of like End of the World debut, kind of dropped, and then got back up. We're kind of like, okay, maybe it's a grower, not a shower, you know? Now it's kind of flopping. And it is really good to get off the internet sometimes and like go touch grass, talk to your friends that aren't on the internet. I've noticed, like, of course, Becky and like our close, tight-knit friend group that is always talking about pop culture. Like, of course we know about the new Miley. Of course we talk about it and we stream it. But like my friends that are not super tied into this culture, I went to dinner last night with a friend and she didn't even know Miley had a new song. Guys, I fear a lot of the general public does not know Miley Cyrus has released a lead single for her upcoming Something Beautiful album. So that's a little concerning. And this is what I mean. Like, sometimes it is good to get off x.com, twitter.com, and touch grass, talk to real people and not like, you know, chronically online people, because it gives you perspective. Also, I love going on, like, if I'm on TikTok live, I do like asking other people what they think of the new Miley or what they think of Miley in general, just to like, I don't know, what do you call it? It's like doing on ground reporting work. It's like doing, it's like doing on ground real life work. Cause it's interesting to see like what other people think and people that aren't biased, like myself or a lot of probably people that are listening to this podcast. And it's been interesting. I don't want to call out anyone in particular, but there's this pop culture like influencer, like he talks a lot about pop culture, very much in the same space as all of us. And I went on his live. I saw he was live and I said, "Hey, what do you think of the new Miley?" And he was like, "It's fine, like, but it could be, it doesn't feel finished. Like, she needs to do something more." And I was like, okay. Like, it's just, you know, it's interesting to hear what other people have to say. I personally think End of the World could be like big. It's just, I don't feel like it's getting, like, I don't want to say it's not getting promoted because it was, right? Like, we saw all the posters, like, her team is throwing it up on social media. We need to talk about the fact that she just posted a fan edit of herself on her social media and was like, let's pretend it's not the end of the world. And it's like her crying. And then it says POV, it wasn't. And that's been like, you know, fans have been doing that on TikTok. She says there are many times in all of our lives we feel like the sky has fallen, but the ones that pick it up and continue to follow their destiny find their bliss. My bliss is being in Bob Mackie at the Grammys. Show me yours. Loving all of your End of the World videos. And then she like credited the fan account that put this together. Oh my God. We kind of got something a little bit more authentic. Like, this was a good social post. This was a good social post. It's, let's see, right now on Instagram, it's at almost 900,000 likes. Oh my God. Okay, so that one is at almost, that one's at almost 900,000 likes. The one she posted before, which was literally just like behind the scenes footage of her in the music video, 132,000 likes. Even her photo before, 184. Yeah, this freaking out engaged every post so far for the Something Beautiful era. Just about, yep. Besides her album announcement, obviously. That's at 1.2 million. But maybe they do have a little bit of a pulse on what to do. I don't know. I totally agree with everyone that's like, we need to see like selfies and like more authentic, organic content. Like, I totally agree with that. I don't know, like, even just her photos from like the red carpet and stuff though. Like her Oscars red carpet, 1.3 million. I don't know. I'm putting faith into her team that there's, I don't know, guys. I could talk about how I feel about her promoting what's going on with the new era for a while. The only thing I will say is that fans online are going absolutely crazy. One, you should be able to nitpick and like give your critiques about artists and your faves on x.com. That's like what you should be able to do. Because honestly, if people don't do that, like, what's the point of the app. The app is to create that conversation, to create that debate, you know? If everyone's just thinking the same thing, what's the fun in that? I totally understand that. But for someone to go online and just like publicly, like open letter to Miley Cyrus, you are awful, you're blah, blah, like to publicly shame them, and your account is literally dedicated to Miley Cyrus. Like it has her profile. Your profile picture is Miley. Your name is Miley. Like that is like the most baffling thing to me. That is crazy. That is freaking crazy. That's like, there's like a line there that's just really weird, parasocial type things. Like, no wonder she doesn't want to come back to social media, because there's crazies out there that are just like dragging her through the mud. I don't know. It's weird. You guys know how we feel about it. We talked about it enough on our last episode. We did get some new candids, which, oh, guys, we never get candids anymore. We never see Miley out in the wild. She is pretty good about not being seen. And so when we do get candids, they're like everything to me. Even though she's just wearing like a black t-shirt, black sweatpants, her hair's up, her sunnies are on, you know, she's just an ordinary girl. She looked so good. She looked so happy, so healthy. She was out with Vidget, which is her longtime best friend, I would say. Yeah, she just looked so good. She obviously was not happy to be seen. You can tell she's like hiding her face, but it was really nice to be able to see her out and about. What I didn't talk about so far on End of the World is some of the lyrics. Like, we didn't really dive into the lyrics in our latest episodes. Some of my favorite lyrics. One is, "And throw a party like McCartney with some help from our friends." First of all, the way she sings that is everything. And throw a party like McCartney with some help from my friends. She actually has a tattoo that is like Floyd in the middle. I'll put a photo up if you're watching. And it says, "with a little help from my friends." Because remember in Dead Pet's era, she was adding a W to like everything. But also that is the album title of the Flaming Lips, "With a Little Help from My Friends." And she is featured on their album when they did their cover of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I love that she kind of threw that in there, like a little throwback to her previous era. She also mentions Malibu. Yeah, let's go down to Malibu and watch the sun fade out once more. Yeah, duh, Malibu. And it's crazy because I am so like connected and like always consuming like new Miley content that I don't feel like I realize these things until someone else brings it up. But a lot of the GP, a lot of people are like, wow, she sounds like Hannah. Like in End of the World, her vocals and production is definitely giving Hannah Montana, like a grown up Hannah Montana, which obviously that she is Hannah Montana, but you know what I mean? Like the production in her vocals, everyone's pointing that out. And so now whenever I go back and listen to End of the World or watch the music video, I'm like, oh my God, it is giving so Hannah Montana. Like it really is. Whether she meant to or not, and I know not everything is a callback to an era, I know that, but whether she meant to or not, it's definitely calls back to a few of her eras, which I love. Like I said, it could be a bop. It could be a bop. She hasn't done any promo. She hasn't done any press. And maybe there is some to come. Like maybe there is some to come, but I'm really like keeping my hopes up. I'm trying to be optimistic. People like hearing you talk about it and like going on interviews and like talking about your new music is how people will know it's happening. In a world of so much music being dropped at all times, so much content being out there, people that aren't like closely following Miley Cyrus like we are, I don't know if they'll know that it's happening, because like I said, I've talked to now a few of my friends I've talked to that didn't even realize Miley had a new song out. And actually, she has 3 songs out. Prelude, Something Beautiful, End of the World. On that note, I think I'm more of a Something Beautiful stan. Like End of the World is great. It's really good for like the GP to eat up. It's a great single choice. But I feel like Something Beautiful just like makes me a little more emotional. Like I feel a little bit more moved by it, you know? So I did join a streaming party over the weekend. There's been fans like putting together these, you know, End of the World streaming parties, trying to do the work to get this song up there in the streams. And I think it was Friday. Yeah. Anyway, I've joined like a few streaming parties when I see them up. And apparently Tish Cyrus was in one of them. And I do not believe anything I see on the internet anymore. Like, I thought somebody edited the image. I don't know. Honestly, it could still be false. It could still be false. I'm not sure. I could totally see Tish Cyrus joining the streaming party and being like, oh my God, hey, this is so cool. But then this is why I'm now second guessing everything, because I was in this streaming party and everyone's like, oh my God, Miley Cyrus like is here. They literally edited it, like the screenshot of the chat, to put Miley Cyrus in there. And it says sickening. And I am literally in, our podcast name is literally in it. I'll put it on the screen, but so funny. So then everyone's like, oh my God, Miley really joined. Like, no, she didn't join. The Smilers just wanted more people to join. So it's like, they lied out of like care and love, you know? Like it wasn't like sometimes it's okay to lie, right? Oh, the Spotify streams. Yeah. So what I thought was really interesting about End of the World Spotify streams is that first day, 2.5 million streams on Spotify. And then, you know, it stays within like a little over 1 million. 8th day, it has its second highest streaming day. On the 8th day, it's been out 1.8 million streams. End of the World got to number 32 on iTunes US. It's predicted that End of the World would debut on the Billboard Hot 100, number 52. Yeah, it definitely, you know, it has potential, but I just feel like, I feel like they need to do some kind of promo, or they need to do something for it to be big. Do I really care if it's Flowers? Do I really care if it's up there in the top 10? Like, deep down, I don't. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really don't. I don't feel like that's the purpose of this album. This album is not really, I don't feel like this album's really meant for the GP. I'm going to say it. Like, I want the GP to love it, but I don't think that it's like, I don't think people will get it like we do. Like, people just won't get it. People don't understand art. That's how I feel about it. I just don't think people get it. We need to listen to some voicemails. And guys, before we start, just a reminder, if you want to leave us a voicemail, we'll play it on the podcast. Go to speakpipe.com/talkmileytome. It's also in our show notes below if you want to just click the link. But it's really easy. You can do it on your phone. You just leave your thoughts, opinions on Miley, and we will talk about them on the podcast.
Really unpopular opinion. Nobody probably remembers this song, but Decisions of Miley Cyrus. Have we forgotten about that iconic song? Have we forgotten about that iconic collab, the music video where she's eating cake? She had just debuted the blonde hair.
Oh my God.
I mean, history was in the making. I mean, this song never took off, unfortunately, the way it should have.
True.
Yeah, the Minecraft remix version of this song took off and is actually, like, I think more streamed than the original. But that's irrelevant. What is relevant is that Miley's impact, even on the Minecraft community, can be felt, okay? Like, lest we not forget, blueprints were laid, okay?
Laid.
You know, I would love a live performance of this song. I don't think it fits into the Something Beautiful era by any means. But, you know, I'm going to dream. I'm going to be delusional, and maybe after this era is over, she can perform a little private concert and, you know, give it to us. Like, I need Miley headbanger. Like, I want her to headbang again. There's like this very intimate, small performance of her performing Decisions back in 2013 where she's like at a club or some private venue and she is living it up. Like, if you watch that performance, it's very blurry, very out of, like, the audio's horrible, but yeah, she's living. So,
oh my gosh, Aaron.
That's all I got to say.
Aaron, I have not forgotten about this because truly the impact Decisions by Borgore featuring Miley Cyrus had on me. This was my bangers before bangers because this was like, I mean, this didn't really sound too much like bangers, but this was how she debuted her pixie cut. She was licking everything. The tongue was out. This was her little test drive before bangers happened, in my opinion. I think, wasn't Liam also in this music video? I think he was. I just remember it was like, 2012. I remember playing this on our TV at home. I was like, 15? Yeah, something like that. I remember playing this on the TV, just like thinking I was so cool, so edgy. I was so EDM. Decision, so I want it all, so I get it all. I want to eat the whole cake. Oh, this was a banger. Love cake. Decisions, but I want it all, so I get it all. Guys, if you don't know the lore on Decisions, we'll eventually talk about it. We're doing our like yearly deep dives. I feel like it'll definitely fall into one of those. I don't know. We'll probably talk about it multiple times throughout our time doing the podcast because I'm sure it'll fit in multiple buckets. But Erin, I did not forget about Decisions, but you bringing it up literally gave me chills because I forget sometimes the impact it had on me, like the chokehold it had on me until then. I feel like Bangers came out and I was totally like overstimulated with that. Never forget though the impact of Decisions by Borgore featuring Miley Cyrus. I wonder what Borgore is doing now. I want to know more about that. Maybe we'll have to do like a whole deep dive episode dedicated to Miley's meetup slash like how did Decisions happen? Like I need to know all the lore on it. Okay, here's the next one by Anonymous.
Hi, just listened to the podcast and I wish I could talk to you guys in person. I've known in my life to talk to with this kind of stuff, but I agree with everything you guys were saying. It does get frustrating to see fans hate so much when something isn't streaming well or if it's not doing well or if it's not on the radio. And I genuinely love everything she puts out and I am always here for anything that Miley wants to give us. But I do want her to do well too. I mean, honestly, I do. And I love when people are excited about her and I get to talk about her or whatever. But, you have Miley on one side of the spectrum who doesn't, she's in it for the arts, not the charts. And then you have Taylor Swift on the other side who wants the success and the streaming and the awards, and they both get hate for both of those things. So it just goes to show that you can't win. And I think if Miley was vocal about wanting that stuff, that would turn people off.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think it's not that she doesn't care for any success. I'm sure she was happy to win a Grammy, but I think that she just doesn't want her validation or self-worth to come from that. Yeah. She's grown so much. I think she's worked on her mental and physical health so much. And I just want what's best for her. I want her to be happy. And I want her to put out music that makes her feel good. So that's my take.
That's so true. Yeah, I mean, I think you can do both. You can do either one. Like, when people hate on Taylor Swift for that kind of shit, I'm like, okay, at least she's being honest. Like, yeah, she cares about the success. She cares about the accreditation and all that. Like, I don't think that's bad. And then there's Miley, like you mentioned. There's Miley who makes it very clear. Didn't she, like, when she won the Grammy, she was like, this doesn't really mean like, she kind of, like, said that in her acceptance speech because she wants to stay grounded in the fact that she doesn't want to have to rely on other people giving her those awards, giving her the validation. She wants it to, like, come from herself. I think both can be right. I think both, it really just depends on, like, your values, like, what you want to do, what your goals are. I totally agree with you, girl. Yeah, and I mean, back to your point, like, obviously I would love every single lead single from Miley Cyrus to be a Flowers. Like, in my perfect world, that's what would happen. Everyone would get it, but not everyone gets it. And that's fine. That's fine for me. Like, as long as I get it and she gets it, like, she's having fun, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. But I understand being a little upset about not seeing, like, it seems like she doesn't care, right? I feel like that's what a lot of people are upset about, is it seems like she doesn't care. I don't know. I just feel like her priorities are a little, like, changed at the moment. I feel like she's in, like, a whole different mindset. Like, after Endless Summer Vacation, I feel like she's in a whole different mindset on her career. Thank you so much for sending that in. Let's see who's next.
Okay, another thing I wanted to say.
Oh, this is her.
90 seconds is not enough. But another thing I wanted to say about the last episode is, like, the social media stuff. How Miley used to post pictures of her on the toilet. Like, she was literally so open with us. We used to have lives. We used to see her dogs and her pigs all the time. And now we don't get that. And she does not owe us that by any means. We don't deserve to see that glimpse into her life. She deserves privacy. But I do think it's hard for some fans to go from one extreme to the other. Yeah. It's a complete 180 flip. And
yeah, no, I'm pausing it. But I I totally agree. Like, I think of like Dead Pets era. I mean, even Plastic Hearts, like she was that was, I feel like, the last era she was active on her social media. But even like, I would say the extreme was Dead Pets when she was posting like 25 times a day. And she was posting like the most just very comfortable selfies. I always joke because she would post her fingernails being dirty because she literally would. And even when she was doing all that, she was getting dragged. Like it goes back to, you can't win. Like either way, you can't win. She's not posting enough. She's getting dragged. When she was posting during the Dead Pets era and she was like spam posting and posting some of the like craziest, raunchiest, she was getting hate too. Even from some of her fans. I totally remember people were like, ew, she needs a shower. She needs to stop hanging out with Wayne, blah, 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 blah. But that just goes to show, like, there's always going to be, weirdly enough, her fandom, there's always going to be some of her fandom that is never going to be, like, happy. Like, that's just how it is. Like, I'm just so used to it at this point. Go on.
I can see that. I can see how, there's maybe a little bit of a disconnect. I used to feel, definitely a little more connected, I guess. I still feel connected to her. I think in her songs, and I find ways to relate to her, and that's what I love about her so much, and she is such a positive influence on me. But I do think that one way that really helps artists connect with their fans more is touring, and she hasn't done that in 10 years. I know she did like the South American festivals, but she hasn't done a tour since 2015, and I was so lucky that I got to go to that tour and see the Dead Pets tour, but
that's crazy you did.
She hasn't done that.
That's
and I
cool.
do think that if she wants her fans to feel connected to her, she's going to need to do that at some point. But again, I want her to be happy and I want her to do what's best for her.
First off, you went to Dead Pets tour is actually the biggest flex. People come to me and they're like, oh my God, you went to Best of Both Worlds tour. You're so lucky, which I totally feel lucky. They come to Becky. Becky went to the Bangers tour. I'm so jealous of her every day for that. But being able to go to the Dead Pets tour, like if you went to that is actually so lucky because that was a very limited run of tour. She only went to like small venues. She didn't go to a lot of like cities. Like she didn't come near me at all. So that's actually a true flex. And about the touring, I've been thinking about this a lot because I know in today's day and age of streaming, I feel like I've heard this before, but most artist revenue comes from touring now. Artists are making the most money by touring and performing rather than like selling or like their actual music. Because of the way streaming is set up now, it's now like 20% streaming revenue, music, 80% touring. Like that's how artists are making the most of their money. So I think about that too sometimes. Not that she needs the money. I feel like she's had such a long career that like she'd be fine. Like she'd live comfortably, But if I think about like how much she probably spends, like celebrities spending is way higher. So like their cost of living is higher. So then because they are used to like making a lot of money. So I always think like just from that kind of standpoint, like I think at some point she's going to need to tour again. I don't like to say that. It sounds really icky of me saying that, but I don't know. Aside from that, I think she will tour again at one point. I just don't know if it'll be this era. I don't know. All the festivals for this year have been announced. I should bring up, there was a festival going around on Instagram that she was going to be performing in Dubai, and totally fake, totally spam. I hope no one spent money on those tickets thinking it was legit, but guys, don't ever spend money on something if you're not finding it like on her website or like she would announce it. Like if she was going to be headlining a festival, her team would like reshare it at least on their Instagram, like, so don't ever spend money because people are crazy. People will just take your money and like, it's not legitimized. But yeah, all the festivals have been announced this year and she's not in any of them. That was my biggest hope, was that she would do a festival here and there. So maybe in 2026, but.
Hi, Molly and Becky. I hope you're all doing well. I wanted to talk about, in the trailer, the first teaser or trailer. I don't know. Anyway, we see Miley behind a big golden burning sun. And
Yes.
the point is that I think that golden burning sun is going to be
It
a
has to.
track on her next album. I'm like 100% sure because of it. And what are your expectations about it? And yeah, have
Oh my
a
God.
good day. Goodbye.
You already know. I literally talk about this every episode since we've started talking about Something Beautiful, but I need Golden Burning Sun. But you know what's so interesting? Okay. Throwback to when, prior to Plastic Hearts, she was in a limo with Liam on the way to the Met Gala, and she was singing a clip, a snippet, a teaser.
Kiss me back, karma,
And I remember thinking, this song, when it comes out on Plastic Hearts, is going to change me. I need it now. Like, it's going to be my favorite Miley Cyrus song ever. And don't get me wrong, it is such a good song. I still bop to it. I still do. But then the album came out, and there were so many other songs that I connected to and resonated more with. Does anybody else feel that way? I just remember when I don't know if it's because I was so hungry for new Miley music, but I remember hearing that snippet of Bad Karma and being like, I cannot wait to have this song. And then I had the song and I was like, yeah, it's cool. Like, I don't know. I just ended up like High resonated with me more. What the do I know? Like, there were just so many other songs that, like, if I did like a Plastic Hearts ranking, that would take priority over Bad Karma. But so then I'm like, I wonder if that's going to happen with Burning Sun. Like, I'm so obsessed with Burning Sun, and my expectations for it because of that are so high that I'm like, I need to have it on the new album. I need it on streaming. Like, I need it, right? But I wonder if we're gonna get the album, it's gonna be on there, and I'm gonna end up gravitating more towards like 7 other songs before going to Burning Sun. This is always interesting for me to think about. I went for a walk earlier, and I was just doing a lot of thinking, prior to recording this podcast. And I think the reason why I have and will always gravitate towards Miley so much is because she kind of is like a genreless artist. And personally for me, I'm a very genreless. When I listen to music, I bounce from everywhere. And I know people say that all the time. They're like, okay, that's so pick me. But no, I seriously do. Like, I go from listening to like true country, anywhere from old country like Johnny Cash to newer country like Tim McGraw. Like, I go from listening to country to listening to like Motley Crue to listening to like Metallica to listening to Taylor Swift to Miley. Like, to listening to, I don't know, Drake. Like, I listen to so many different genres of music, and Miley has always been like that. Even since her Hannah Montana days, she's always just been into so many different kinds of music. And that also comes out in her own music. She's always bouncing from this genre to this genre to what we've gotten so far in this new era is like so many different genres in one. I mean, Something Beautiful is like so rock and roll, so hard rock, but it's also like jazzy and like pop, of course. It's insane. So I have come to the conclusion, like, the main reason that I initially gravitated towards Miley was because of that genreless element. And because she is so genreless, I wonder if that holds her back commercially at all, ever. That is also something to think about. I know we're always comparing her to Taylor Swift, but truly, like, those are probably the 2 pop stars I think about the most. You could say, yeah, Taylor Swift has bounced, from like country to pop. And, she's experimented with subgenres under pop, but it's like different, you still kind of know what you're going to get with a Taylor Swift album. It's going to be very singer-songwriter. She's going to put a lot of her own self into it. But I think with Miley, you just really never know. She's a wild card. She said it herself.
But don't forget, baby, that I'm a wild card.
And I wonder if that ever holds her back commercially. I don't know. Just food for thought. Food for thought on what I think about on my walks. I'm trying to walk more. Getting 10,000 steps, guys, is no joke. That's hard. What else? Is there anything else I want to talk about today? Keep leaving us voice messages. I really enjoy them. I love hearing from you guys. It's like I said, it's always really interesting to like hear other people's thoughts and opinions and their hot takes. Shout out to Aaron for bringing back up Decisions. What a time to be alive that was. I'm so excited for this era, but like I love revisiting old Miley eras and like just yapping about them and like thinking about like in 2 years we'll be looking back on this era. And it just started. That's one thing, guys. It literally has just started. We're not even a month away from the album coming out, which is terrifying because like what else do you have up your sleeve? Hopefully there's more up your sleeve because the hype is definitely dying down from the general public for Something Beautiful. Oh yeah, Katy Perry went to space. I know this is kind of off topic. Katy Perry went to space for like 4 minutes. Why did I think she was going to be like living up there for a month? This is what happens when you do no research and you're just like, but she made it back. She made it back okay. Everything was fine. This week on Patreon, Becky and I are doing like a draft wars between all of the songs on the Hannah Montana 1 season soundtrack. And we did it before on our Patreon, which is still up. If you sign up for our Patreon, you get access to all of our videos and other content that we've done on there. But basically, our draft wars, like, we take turns picking a song until we have, like, our teams, like, our quote teams. And then we post it on Instagram and like, have you guys vote to see whose team would win. Last time we did it, we did the Hannah Montana 2 / Meet Miley Cyrus album. And I'm not going to lie, my team ate Becky's team up. Yeah, we did pretty good. But so we're going to be doing that. That'll be fun. If you're listening to this podcast and you want to watch it, you can watch it on YouTube or Spotify. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. Leave us a voice message. You know everything we usually yap about. We talk about at the end of the episodes. Okay. Thank you for tuning in for the solo episode. We'll be back together next week. And I look forward to talking to you all again soon. Bye.